No matter what part you are in your guest blogging strategy, building up your credibility is essential for getting more guest blogging opportunities and getting more people to accept your pitches when you send them in. So when it comes to building up your credibility to get more people to say yes to your content, here are a few areas in which you have to build your credibility. The main area is social media and simply just growing an audience, engaging and posting valuable content. That's how you build credibility on social media. Social media is the modern version of a business card. People want to see how popular you are. People want to see the social proof. Social media is now that tool. And when you have a large audience on social media, the person with the guest blog now looks at this audience and realizes that if you promote the guest post, then that guest post is going to get a significant amount of exposure. Now, if you only have a few hundred social media followers, it's not the end of the world. There are many successful guest bloggers who only have a few hundred social media followers, but the larger your social media audience is, then the more likely you are to get guest blogging opportunities. So my advice with growing on social media is, yes, get multiple social networks because it's good to be on a bunch of them, but you want to focus most of your time on one social network. The way I look at social media and mastering all of them is parallel to mastering languages. You wouldn't want to try to learn 10 new languages at the same exact time. Instead, you would want to learn one language at a time, master that one language, and then move on to the next one. So focus on one social network, master that one social network, and then try to master another social network. And then sharing other people's content through your social media platforms is important because it indicates to someone that you would share the guest post if it were to get published. Your blog is also another great place where you can build credibility. Unlike social media, your blog is your true home on the web. There is no other people's content on your blog unless you allow people to contribute on your blog. And the key thing with your blog is quality and quantity. Because when you submit a guest post, the audience is provided for you. Now, it is helpful if you engage with your audience and you have a large audience of your own, but the point of guest blogging is you put your content in front of an entirely new audience. So the quality of your content and the amount of content on your blog plays a big impact on your credential when it comes to getting guest blogging opportunities. So when it comes to other parts of the process as to whether you're a blogging expert or not or something like that, then audience does play a stronger part of it. But when it comes to guest blogging, there is a strong focus on the actual content because the audience is provided for you. And on your blog, you can also highlight some of your credentials in the sidebar or in the About Me section, just so your audience has a better idea of some of the things that you have accomplished within your niche. So there are plenty of other ways to boost your credibility and get more guest blogging opportunities, but these 5 are the key to getting those guest blogging opportunities. And I know there are more out there. Writing a book is important because if you are a guest blogger, that means you're writing a lot of content. And if you have written a book, that separates you from a large percentage of all of the other guest bloggers out there. A training course is something very similar to writing a book. The way I like to view training courses is they are just books, but done in video form, and they sometimes have PDFs, online quizzes. So that's how I like to view training courses. They are also very helpful. Past guest blogging experience is another very useful credential to mention because if people realize that you have written guest posts for all of these other bloggers, then they will know that you are experienced, you are comfortable with writing guest posts, and then the guest blogger, the person who owns the guest blog, can rest assured that you are going to submit good content. Past speaking engagements also help. Now, again, none of these things that I say are mandatory for you to write guest posts on other people's blogs. So if you haven't written a book, that doesn't mean your chances are obsolete, but it does help, and you still have a good chance even if you don't have any of these, but they are all very helpful for you to get more opportunities. So past speaking engagements also help, and then any interviews you have had on podcast episodes or blogs, those will also help to boost your credibility when it comes to submitting the pitch for the guest blogging request. That is all for this lecture. I hope it has served you, and what I want you to do is to dream big, achieve greatness, and unlock your potential today.